Oh.
Hey,
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 how are you?
I'm well. How are you?
I'm super good. Super excited for us to be doing this tonight. It is our first AQ live chat series on Facebook. Should we wait? Because I always think that's crazy for us.
Yeah.
We didn't start that way. Hi, Tasha.
What up?
All right, so tonight, our first interview.
Well, I mean, it's just been 30 seconds. We should give people a chance to
Oh, my bad. You're right. It is 30
get
seconds.
on.
You know
And
what?
you know how your people do. 7 o'clock really means like
You're right. You're right. I'm sitting here like I'm back in my television days. It's 7 o'clock. Let's go. We ought to be on the air.
and three,
Yeah,
two.
one. Yeah, that's So pardon me for going back to television days. You're absolutely right. How's your day going?
My day's been good. Saturdays are filled with family. Filled with family.
Just say it, girl. It's also kind of weird that I ask you how's your day when I've talked to you probably at least 5 times today.
Today. Yeah. Right.
I had a great talk with someone. Wait, it's 7:01. We'll give people just a few more minutes to get involved. We got Denise Salisbury today, Positive Wisdom. We got her folks coming in. We've got a lot of people who kind of want to come in and see what she has to say as we talk tonight about what you have tolerated in the past that you no longer have space for. Girl, yeah. That's a good one. I'm looking forward to. We're going to share some stuff today.
As am I. Lots of introspection and perspective brought during Corona.
Yeah, I mean, I'm probably going to start pre-Rona, right?
Oh, well.
Yeah. Because if I just...
But it's when you have these conversations, right? It's like right now, like you're like, yep, you're right. I don't do that no more.
Right. Yeah, we giving that up. But if I think about it, it started a little while ago.
Yeah. Don't get too deep into it.
No. But tonight, super excited because we have Denise Salisbury of Positive Wisdom joining us.
Let's tell them who we are first.
We are the Accountability Queens. I am Sharon. You are
Tasha. I'm in Maryland.
And I'm in North Carolina. And we are accountability partners. And we have been accountability partners 9 years now, right?
Peyton had 8 at the end of the month. So, yeah.
About 9 years. And we help each other and we help other people kind of identify accountability partners to get them to all the things that they're trying to do in life. Having an accountability partner for myself has been amazing. We have been through some highs and lows, and she has helped me over the hump so many times that I can say that I've achieved a lot. I've achieved a lot that I've set out for, and I'm becoming the woman that I want to be. What about you?
I definitely say in the past 9 years,
9 years.
That's crazy, right? That's almost as long as I've been married. 10-year anniversary coming up next week.
Congratulations.
Yeah, a lot of the successes that I've had over the past 9 years and the being able to come through and get over has been attributed to our relationship, and definitely the woman that I am today. I attribute a great amount of that to the accountability that I have.
Yeah, absolutely. And so taking us back 9 years ago, when Tasha and I came up with this, and it evolved, or it was birthed. It was actually birthed, and I don't know if Denise knows this, but it was birthed in her kitchen.
Yep.
Tasha and Dennis had just gotten back from living in the Middle East. Tasha came in. It was the December because it was the holidays. Tasha had on this really cute vintage red velvet jacket I still happen to love. And
the only piece of clothing that I've ever worn that she likes, but go ahead.
And so we were having just a good old time, friends catching up, Denise's house. And we decided there, as a matter of fact, it was someone else and I think, talking about.
I was just going to say, I kind of butted in the conversation.
I was talking to somebody else, and we were like, yeah, we should kind of teach each other about money. And Tasha, and which has never changed about your personality, I want some of that too.
Right.
Don't leave me out.
What time we meet? When we meet, I'll do that.
I'm in now. And you know, to this day, you have the same attitude. But anyway, let's bring
all the good.
Well, I'm going to bring in the good right now. Let's bring in Miss Denise Salisbury of Positive Wisdom.
Okay,
Denise.
Hey.
How are you?
I am awesome. How you all doing?
Good. Thank you for joining us tonight.
Yeah, I am. When I tell you, I am super happy. And I did not know that story. I did not know that you all were sitting at the kitchen, probably at the island or over in the corner.
We were at the island.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, a lot of stuff has been birthed from that island, so that's good.
How about it? I remember there was some chicken, some fried chicken. I remember there was bread. I remember there being
hip hop is always at the party.
Yeah,
I'm telling you, it ain't no party in hip hop ain't there.
Yeah, you know what? Some hip hop, some hip hop chicken. For anyone outside the Maryland area who doesn't know what we're talking about, hip hop chicken has almost become a staple of good fried chicken. I'm not doing a commercial for them. Y'all get it. Okay. So Denise, tell us about Positive Wisdom. How did you get started with that?
Well, I got started with Positive Wisdom. I have been this starts with my mother. My mother passed away in January of 2018. And my mother was always the one in the neighborhood, in the community that people just stopped in for a word. She was always the one you could go talk to Ada Melvin, go talk to Ada Melvin. Okay. And so I watched my mother do this the whole time as a professional woman, as a minister's wife, as a mom, I just watched her. And so I have kind of developed the same thing. A lot of times people would come to me, and it's not that I'm wise because, I'm so astute. It's just because, first of all, I'm willing to be transparent. And so most of my wisdom comes from my mess ups. So basically I've been doing this pretty much for a lot of my adult life, probably all of my adult life. And so in light of all that's going on currently with the negativity in the news, the pandemic, the racial inequalities, our crazy leader, I just wanted to do something that gave people something good, gave people something positive. So even in spite of all the negativity that's going on, there's still some positivity we can glean from it. So here I am.
I mean, I would also say, just listen to that story, that your wisdom also comes from listening to your mother, right?
Yes.
And a lot of us get our wisdom from our grandparents, right?
Mm-hmm.
Being able to have those elders in our lives. And some of us weren't blessed with that. And so, thank you for sharing that elder's wisdom.
Yes, it's a pleasure. I enjoy it, and it's definitely kind of taking off. So I'm excited.
I want to say though something, because this is Tasha and I in talking and preparing for this. What I want to say is that we both really talk about how great of a person you are, and how you've always been that person who sort of just makes you feel good. Like that's who you are. Like, and I go back to when we first met each other on the patio at Sullivan's, and our mutual friend said, "Hey, you all should get to know each other." And I was like, "Okay, but
you were side-eyeing me. I saw you.
Okay, I might have for the first 30 seconds.
Yes, you were.
I was just side-eyed at the first meeting. I ain't gonna lie. It didn't take long to say, "Oh, she's a keeper. We keeping her."
It did not take long. And if I remember correctly, first of all, we got on famously that night.
Yes.
There was lots of food, maybe a cocktail or two. Yes. But I distinctly remember that we were on the phone the very next day, because we were on the phone the next morning. Tasha, on my way to work, we were talking.
Wow.
That's where that was. That's where that was.
Yes, yes, yes. It was amazing. And that's the thing about, I'm a Southern girl, so I'm from Carolina. Um, and so I grew up where I never met a stranger. So it's not about doing anything but being who I really am.
Yeah.
And either you can love who you meet, or, you might not love her today, but you'll love her later. Eventually you will.
Nice.
And Tasha, what is that story you talked about?
Oh, about how long I've known Denise, and
Hmm.
we talked about people showing up in your life, and when you're
Hmm.
going through things. And one of the things I shared with Sharon that she didn't know is that when I was in the hospital for 2 months, pregnant with Peyton, that Denise was on the couch. Right? She was one of the people that was there in the hospital room with me, visiting me, bringing me goodies, and just sharing of herself. And so I will never forget that, and love you for it, and appreciate
And love you, honey.
being there for me.
So
Love you.
for me and for us, let me say this, for us, when we talked about doing this series, we talked about wanting to highlight people, particularly women, who were just bringing light into this world, right? And we thought about, what if we were to interview this person and that person had chats with this, but then we looked at our squad. First off, we have an amazing squad.
Oh yeah.
We got a bomb squad.
There's a bomb squad. That bench is real tight.
Yes,
You
yes.
know, I mean, really tight. And we said to ourselves, we don't have to go very far. We don't have to do it. Let's just go to the women that we know that we're connected to. So
Yes.
you were our absolute first,
Yay!
for the history and just who you are and what you're doing. So tonight's
Hey,
discussion.
thank you.
What have you tolerated in the past that you no longer have space for? Whew. Now, we're gonna have a little chat. I'm not asking you to bring all your bones and
This should be rated FB, right?
Right. Listen, a lady never tell. A lady never tell.
And just in case those people are watching,
Yeah.
we shall not name folks.
Yeah. This is not going to be a tell-all.
This ain't well. No, we're not
This
about
ain't the tell-all. Y'all will have to buy the book for the tell-all.
Girl, you got to come in for the movie. Okay?
Yes, honey. Yes, yes. So let's see. Let me tell you something. I think the thing that I've probably decided I'm done with is allowing or letting other people's happiness, letting other people have happiness at my expense. That's one thing. And then the second thing would probably be, and it's all kind of lumped together, not trying to fix things that I did not break. So I think those are probably, they kind of go, they go hand in hand. They go hand in hand.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, I want you to be happy. I want you to be happy. I want to meet you happy. I want you to be in a good place when I meet you.
Yeah.
But I don't want all of that happiness. I don't want you to find happiness, but it be at the expense of mine. Because then it just becomes toxic.
Yeah.
And so for me, understanding that I have a spirit of, I want to help. I want to make sure everybody's okay. I want to never say no. I want to always say yes.
Yeah.
But what I was realizing in my life and in relationships and work and dealing with people, sometimes it is preferable that you say no in order to protect yourself. So those are definitely some things I'm learning to let go of. I want to meet people in their happy. I don't want to be the happy.
Yeah.
I want to meet you and you're good.
Yeah. No, I feel.
I hear that, and I think about all relationships, right? Relationships with men and relationships with women. And, I think personally, mine is sort of in the same vein, right? I have been working on having authentic relationships. I remember another group that probably started in your kitchen as well, Shares, right?
Yes, it did.
Right? Started your kitchen as well. I was like, that's deep. That's real. Like, I want authentic relationships. And so, being a giver, just like you are, I don't have time for people that don't respect my time, right? Yeah. Or that are fake or don't have the same values that I have, right? Back in the day, we used to be like, okay, well, we can just go to the mall together or do whatever. Yeah, I don't have time for that. As the years go on and things develop in my life, family, profession, business, my time becomes more valuable by the minute, right? Yes. So in order for me to be able to spend that time with you, right, it has to be an authentic relationship. And yeah, I'm not dealing with it. If you're not happy and you just got all sad stuff to say and bad stuff to say when we talk, I don't need that energy. It's not.
We talk about energy vampires and how energy vampires kind of just like gravitate towards the light and then they just suck it back into the darkness.
Yes.
And so I find myself in some spaces, I consider myself to be vamped, like, just suck them dry. And and be very clear. It's not that I don't love people. I won't appreciate people for who they are, but I know what it is I need. And for so long, I have put me on the back burner. It's time now for me to come out and shine. And that's what I plan to do.
Nice.
I'm tired.
I'm going to add something to what you just said, Denise. Pastor Thomas, in one of his sermons years ago, said something to the effect that, we have this idea that when you have a whole person who is happy and whole, and as you pointed out, and you have someone who is not whole, right? We think that the person who is whole can fill up the person who is not whole. In fact, that is not the case. When in fact, it is the person who is not whole who sucks all the energy out of the person who is whole.
That's right.
So it is a great lesson to learn, like, and unfortunately, it takes some time and experience and some draining of life and energy, unfortunately, before you actually get that lesson. But man, when he made that was like, it was one of those eye-opening statements that he gives me all the time. I'm going to say the thing that I don't have time for anymore is, many years ago, Oprah said, if you can see the tip of the iceberg, you don't have to hit it to know it's there. I don't do people who lack integrity. If you don't have integrity, because it's not something that you gain, right?
Right.
It is something that is established young in your years. And you are either about it or you're not. It doesn't change. If you lie and cheat and steal over here, you will lie and cheat and steal over there.
Right.
And why? I mean, you know what I mean? Like, there was a time, I think, in my life that I was like, give everybody a second chance. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That person didn't mean that. It's who they are. It's exactly who they are. All right. So going on to my next question. I'm sorry, go ahead, Tasha.
Oh yeah, I was going to ask a question. Denise, using your vampire analogy, right? A garlic is what keeps vampires away, right? Right? So what's your garlic, right? How do you keep yourself from being vamped?
Yes, that's a good one, girl. That's a good one. But my garlic is self-love. Because when you love yourself the way you really should, that stuff won't even come near you.
Yeah.
You can see it before it even says opens its mouth. So my garlic is loving me.
Yeah.
Nobody can love me more than I can. And so at the end of the day, when you start recognizing that I have a job to do, and that is to make sure that my peace is protected at all costs. So understanding how to put boundaries in place. I was a boundary-less person. There were no boundaries.
You don't make up words.
I done made up a word.
Okay, boundary-less.
Boundary-less. So, I just allowed anything. And I remember, getting on the dating scene and people kind of asking me about, things I'd been through. And I might have said some stuff and they were just like, how did you do that? And I was offended. I was like, what? Because I'm a strong woman and that's what strong women do. And they do this and they tolerate this and they tolerate that. And when I started really learning what it is to be a strong woman, and it's not to take anything that's thrown your way, It is to put boundaries in place. It is to demand the best because you're supposed to be bringing the best. And when you're not loving yourself, you don't show up as your best.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how can I expect to receive love at the capacity that I'm expecting to receive it when I don't have that much love for myself?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I can't give more love than I encompass. I can't do that.
That's it. That's it.
So,
So, the Bible talks about loving God, right? And then loving your neighbor as you love yourself.
as you love you. Amen,
so
girl.
If
Preach.
you don't love yourself, you don't have
Mhm.
the capacity to love your neighbor like God commanded, right?
That is correct.
Come on.
Yes. Y'all
That's
better preach.
right there.
So the thing is, right? Let's just be honest. How long did it take us to get these lessons?
Woo, child. And it's not even so much the length of time, it is what you had to go through to learn the lesson.
So then I'm gonna take you a step further. I'm gonna say, how many times did we have to have the lesson given to us?
Right. Because I didn't get it the first time.
Well, listen, the beauty of God, the universe is that he's not one of those people that say you got an F, so you just failed.
Yeah.
He gives you opportunity after opportunity to get an A, to ace the test.
Every day.
So when you keep getting the same stuff, you keep asking, at some point you have to say, why do I keep attracting this type of energy? Why do these things keep happening?
Yes.
It's not the exterior where the lesson comes from. It's what you're supposed to be learning on the inside.
Yeah.
So the reason why I had to go through something 25,000 times is because I'm a tough cookie and I don't get the lesson right away. Sometimes it takes me 15 times to understand, okay, now I got it. I got an A on that test. Now I can move you somewhere else.
Yeah.
Denise, I'm going to tell you, it just came to me. When I had brunch, as we would do, when I come back, one of the stops.
Oh, the two of you had brunch.
Yeah, we would have brunch, right? So when I come back to Maryland, there are a couple of non-negotiables that take place. All right, there's
Careful. Just move on.
Correct.
Okay.
That's not true. Okay. Is that Denise and I would have brunch, and just over a year ago today, it was last May, you and I had brunch at our favorite brunch spot, and you were telling me about this book.
Woo!
Okay.
And you told me, and I'm like, I gotta have this book, right? And you sent it. You said I got it on PDF. Don't even worry about it. I have since sent that book out to like 10 people.
Yes.
And
I got a copy.
Everyone didn't read it.
Cliff notes, you read it. I don't need to read all the pages.
That's all right. You might read. Guess what? You'll pick it up at some point in your life. I promise you that.
I got it.
And I'm gonna tell you something. Life-changing.
Yes.
Life-changing.
Yes.
All the lessons that I couldn't get all those times. Life. Yeah.
Well, listen, I will say that I did get some lessons from the book that I have implemented. Hello, can I give you credit?
Yes.
Yes. But I do appreciate the Cliff Notes.
No, that's right. And let me tell you something. The other thing so I let go of stuff, but I've picked up stuff because you can't just you throw things out. You need to fill it, right? Because otherwise you'll go right back to the stuff you threw out.
Yeah.
So I filled it with this quest I have for understanding people because see, when you understand people, then that can help you to make your relationships thrive. When you understand, so first of all, when you understand yourself, so the self-love, and then once you start getting very accustomed to how to love yourself, then you have to say, okay, I want to be able to accept people for all the junk they got going on. It doesn't mean they have to have a front row seat in my life, but it definitely means that people are not pieces of paper that I just ball up and throw away.
Okay.
They come with stuff. So I need to understand and learn and understand people. So when I am in relation with people, whether it's a romantic relationship, a friendship, whatever, your family members,
Yeah.
I can learn to accept people for who they are and understand that we are all, at this present moment, we are all doing the best we know how to do. And
Yes.
so the only way to know how to do something better is to learn. So I started reading, I started focusing on how I can self-love. So that's why I'm on this self-love campaign.
Okay. Okay. It's
And
for you because it's beautiful on you, honey. The glow.
thank you, thank you, thank
It
you.
glows hot, honey. Yeah.
Thank you.
It is. I mean, and I think that's so important. I think those are powerful words. And, you know, I again, this is why it was so important for us to have this conversation with you, because this is just for everyone who's watching us. This is just a small snippet of the conversations that we always have with Denise.
Yes,
And,
yes, yes, yes.
I love to be able to call Denise for whatever I need, right? Whatever is on my brain. I'm like, Denise can help me with that, right? Let me just pick up the phone at 11:40 in the morning and she's gonna answer the call.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and part of me needing to learn about people is because I have a love for people. And so if you love something, you need to study it. You need to understand, you need to find
Yes,
out
girl.
as
Say
much
that
as you can
again.
about it.
Say it
Be-
out.
yeah, you do. You need to study it. And so I meet people. I'm like, you know what? Blah, blah, blah. I see things that I'm really big into energy. I'm really big into astrology. No, I'm not a Miss Cleo, but I do believe in people's energy. And so when I'm around people and they give off something, I'm just like, well, where does that come from? The more you start to talk to people, the more you start to see, now I get it a little bit. You
Yeah.
can't hold that against people. It's where they are. And so I'm not in the habit of trying to gather up information or intel and then bam, you're a bad person, so you got to go. No, because guess what? I'm not perfect. Being able to sit here and talk to you about what I've been through in life or whatever doesn't give me. I'm not sitting on a throne because I'm perfect. I know I'm with the accountability queens, and I'm a queen.
Amen.
Right. But that doesn't mean that in queendom that you're perfect.
Right.
It just means that you're wise enough to know if I don't know something, I need to learn it.
That's
If
right.
I'm not good at something, I need to figure out how to get better.
Yeah.
And so that's what this journey is all about.
I think nugget for me tonight, if you love something, study it.
Yes.
I like that. If you
Mhm.
love something, study it.
Yeah. Think about any career that you are so gung ho to have. You know, like when doctors train, when
Yes.
lawyers, when you train to be in news, when you train to be an engineer. If you really are loving what you're doing, you're studying
Yes.
because you want to be the best at it. So
Yeah.
why do we treat people any different?
Yeah.
If I say I love you, I need to know you. The only way to know you is to study you.
Yes.
And I'm going to add to that because that's you dropping jewels here tonight.
Mhm.
But that takes time.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm not
Yes.
the instant. It takes time.
Mm-hmm.
And I would
It
also
does.
say that you get with a bit of time and experience is that you've got to really know what you're paying attention to, if that makes sense, right?
Yes.
Right? Like if
Yeah.
that, like you have to not pay attention so much to the flashy and shiny, but you better look at what's going on underneath.
Yes.
That's where the real learning.
Right.
That is the real learning, Sharon. The other thing is understanding why, because then it flips back to you, and you have to ask yourself, why can't I give this time?
Yeah.
What is my hurry? Why am I in a rush to
Girl.
not give this the time it needs?
Mm-hmm.
Them are things you got to turn back on on yourself. Ain't got nothing to do with that person.
Right.
Because be very clear, people gonna come, or they should come, with the very best representation of themselves they can.
Yes.
It's a representation. It's not authentic.
Yes. Yes.
So when you, especially as we're dating, male, female, when you start saying, oh, okay, I'm ready. Now I'm ready. Oh, she's beautiful. Oh, he's nice looking. Oh, now let me see what we can do next. Let me see where we can go next. why are we in a hurry to get to that place? I want to take my time to get to know you, because if we begin to start slowing down, a lot of the people will fall off because they can't last. And we'll start to see the real person real soon.
Yeah.
So yeah, you're absolutely right. We gotta take our time.
So I want to bring that to Tasha and I's relationship.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think
before you go to our relationship, I just want people on Facebook to know that I'm watching the comments. And so we're wrapping up here with Denise. So if you guys have any questions, post your questions in the comment box and we'll make sure that Denise answers them. Go ahead, Sharon.
It takes a village. It absolutely takes a village. So Tasha will say that when we met, because we were in the same sort of friend group, I'll say it that way. And she will say I didn't like her, right?
She gave me the side eye too.
That's what she does. That's what she does.
And I get side eye. and her husband will back me up and say, she just didn't know you. I didn't know her. She was that girl over there. But when Tasha and I first started becoming accountability partners, we didn't know each other.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't know each other. We knew probably some surface stuff, right? We both had a love for community. We both had faith. We were both women of faith. We were both Christian women. We were Black women living in the DMV area. I mean, past that, Tasha, I don't know how much.
I wanted to know more about a particular subject, right?
Right, exactly.
For education. So
and that's all we had, right? And so now, 9 years later, man, when we decided well, first off, you learn we weren't in a rush, obviously, because we didn't know we were going anywhere. But my goodness, what this time has done and solidified us. I mean, today, now we are friends, right? Yes. We're beyond friends, we're accountability partners, and we're kind of together for the rest of our life. But it was with time. This relationship isn't forged in an instant. Right. It wasn't, right? And there are certain trust factors that I think we both have one another, because we've seen each other in so many circumstances and how we respond. And we talk openly and intimately of like, okay, how we're trying to come to it or what our feelings are. I know how she thinks. I know how she feels. I know how she's going to move. You know what I mean? So there's an absolute trust there.
And because she does, I'm able to say, well, what do you think I think about this? And the same thing for me, like she'll be in her feelings about something or a particular situation and let me remind you, Sharon, this, and this, right? And
yes. So to your point, yes, time is what makes that coal into diamonds, right? Yes. And, it is. I am amazed at those who want to just skip past time. You just you can't fast forward through it. You just can't fast forward through it.
And isn't it interesting that we're older now and we want to slow down with how we pursue things. But when we were younger and we just want to everything quick. And that's when we had more time. Now we have less time and we want to slow down.
Right.
But when we were younger, we had more time. We want to speed up. So I think about when you were talking about that, you were talking about your side out in the beginning of people, which I think is wonderful. And I say that because you should approach things like that.
A little bit.
That's not a bad thing. My mother says, one of the things my mother used to say to me is, Denise, friendships, real authentic relationships are battle tested. How do you know if that person is going to truly be there for you when you need them to most, if you haven't been there for that, if you haven't been through something? She says, so the idea is that you will go through a tunnel of chaos. And during that tunnel of chaos, it could be for whatever reason there is. It could be a disagreement or whatever. Will you get out? Yeah. See, some friendships get left in the tunnel.
Oh, girl.
They never make it out of the tunnel. Yeah. You ever had those friendships where, we had some words and I haven't talked to her in 20 years, or we had this and I don't know, we just kind of fell off.
Yeah.
If you can make it through the tunnel, You have found yourself an authentic person.
Listen, I have one of my, well, she knows she's my oldest, dearest, closest friend. One of my closest friends, Jesus. That's Danae. And Danae and I do not have to talk every day. We do not have to talk once a week. We do not have to talk every 2 weeks. But we have seen each other through some stuff. 8th grade. We good.
Yes.
Whatever you need, I got. You know what I mean? I know it's the same with her. It is.
Yeah. Time. And those people, time, not only that, but even disagreements, because you disagree in romantic relationships. You disagree in relationships with your siblings, with your parents. Why is it that we feel like these friendships, we got to put them like they're in an egg carton? Yeah. Look, I don't agree with what you said. I don't like it. I don't like what you did. I don't like it. It doesn't sit well with me. And it is what it is. Why are we afraid to do that with friends?
Yeah. No, very good point. Very good point.
So, no, I think the side eye is great initially because you don't really know people. Figure them out. Okay, boom. I can straighten my eyes up. I ain't got to do the side. I can look at that on.
All right, guys, we got one question in the chat. Okay. What's the name of the book?
So this is the crazy part. I read so many books. I do a lot of ebooks. I don't even remember the name. You remember it?
Yeah, I remember.
The name of the book.
I don't know that I remember.
Really? How to have it's either you can have the relationship you want or how to have the relationship you want.
That sounds like something like it. It was an ebook. And what I'll do is I will somehow get it to Sharon and
we can reply in the comments.
Yeah, so that we can provide it to people. Yeah.
I mean, listen, it was an easy book. It was an easy read. I sent it to 10 people, and it was powerful to say the least. And
yeah, it was so that's another show I'm sure you all will probably have because I plan to have a show.
That's a whole nother show.
Yes, and that is the how to kind of navigate relationships. We think we know, we don't. We have never clue how to be in a relationship. Not Nan. We going based off of something we seen our parents do, which wasn't always successful. Our friends, we listen to. We don't know.
Parents do. It was surface.
Yes, it was surface.
Right.
And so, and it was out of necessity in many parts, many times because, they got married for different reasons. They got together for different reasons.
Yeah.
But we don't know how to be in relationships because we don't know how to relate to people.
Because we don't study them.
We don't study people. And so we think that things are just supposed to, we think we're supposed to carry out our love based on that first 90 days. Like you don't even know who the person is in the first 90 days.
Oh, that is taking me to a comment that our friend Anthony Butler. What did he say? One of our friends came in and he was in love, newly in love, recently divorced and newly in love. And Anthony was like, it ain't even been 6 months to a year yet, dude. You don't even know this person. But hey, whatever. But
again, listen, 10-year anniversary for me next week. I'm still learning.
Oh my goodness! Happy anniversary! Yes. If I can just say this one thing though, and I know we're going to wrap up. Yes. I just want to say that part of my journey also, even when I've been in relationships with people and they didn't work out, there's so much that I've gotten out of the relationships I've had. And one of the things in my last relationship, I am grateful for the two of you, because had it not have been for that relationship, I probably wouldn't have ever met you. I met a whole different world of people. Right. Even though I knew a lot of people, he knew a lot of people, they didn't really, the worlds never really collided. Yeah. But, and I'm sure he'd say the same thing today. There are many people I've introduced him to, and vice versa. And I'm so appreciative
Yes.
that. I'm very appreciative.
Me
I must
too.
say we are too. Now, in the spirit of studying someone,
Mm-hmm.
Tasha is about to do our inside the actor's studio fire rapid question. I'm gonna let her. This is her lane.
Yeah. So did you watch the show, Denise, Inside the Actor Studio?
Yes.
Love it, right? So James Lipton, rest his soul. We're gonna do these questions. All
I'm
right.
gonna try, y'all.
And this is just, quick answers, top of your head, right? What's your favorite word?
Optimism.
Ooh, okay. I like that.
What's your least favorite word?
No.
Me too.
Right?
What
I'm
turns
trying
you
to do
on,
better.
what turns you on creatively, spiritually, or emotionally?
Just thinking about the gift of life that God has given me.
Mm-hmm.
It makes me want to be creative.
All right. What turns you off?
Nasty dispositions. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
What's your favorite curse word?
Bullshit.
All right. What sound or noise?
That's on this show, right? I can cuss on this show.
I guess so. I don't know. We'll see if it's interesting.
I figured Chris Cuomo said it on CNN the other night. I'm
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
What sound or noise do you love?
The ocean.
Oh, okay. What sound or noise do you hate?
Any siren, ambulance, fire trucks, police sirens.
Yeah.
You want to be in my house with my kids. All right. What profession other than your own would you like to attempt?
I'd like to attempt being a builder, like construction. I'd love to try to build something.
Okay. And what profession would you not like to attempt?
Surgery.
Okay.
Yeah.
We added this one. Who or what holds you accountable?
My children and my reputation.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, very good.
And then if you believe in heaven, Jay, what would you like to hear God say when you arrive at the pearly gates?
Girl, you made it in here by the skin of your teeth. Get on in here, girl. Get on in here.
I love it. I love it.
Yes.
Well, that's it. I mean, Denise, it's been a pleasure. Always is, right? I'm just glad
thank
that we're
you.
able to share, our love and our laughter with our Facebook community. Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you for having me. It's been a pleasure. And please come on. Look, come on, Positive Wisdom. I do have a page, a Facebook page, Positive Wisdom, which is also my life coaching business. So yes, please come on in.
Nice.
Also, follow the Accountability Queens on Instagram and on Facebook. Come back next week. We're going to have another one of these. Thank you so much, Denise.
Thank you. Love you guys.
Good night. Love you too.
Bye, everybody.
Good night.